I'm Steve, and we're aging joyfully. Hey, look, there's a thumbs up. Don't forget, thumbs up, notifications, and subscribe. That helps everyone, and keep these videos coming to you.
So we're wearing these shirts, Take It Easy today. What's up with that, Steve?
Take it easy is a saying that our parents used to use at the end of a conversation or a meeting. They would say, take it easy, and really meant take it slow, take it easy, go slow. It was tough times back then, and we're kind of coming into those tough times now.
Well, my parents grew up in the silent generation while yours were the greatest generation. They both went through the Great Depression, then World War II. It was very, very stressful. So today, we're not in a war, but it seems to be very stressful. Things are changing every day. As you turn on the news every day, there's some major life event change. Food has gone up. Farmers are going bankrupt. Homes and rents are unaffordable. We just saw today everybody giving away dogs at the shelter in New York.
Oh my God.
For the first time said they are rejecting animals as they are full because people are losing their housing. They're either becoming homeless or moving to a place that doesn't allow pets.
Right.
So they are overwhelmed with pets.
Dogs and cats.
It's a sad, sad time. A lot of people pretend like nothing's happening. Their lives are the same. People who don't seem to be impacted by this, maybe some retired people, wealthier retired people, but I believe that we're all impacted by our neighbors, what's happening to our neighbors. Even if you think you're not personally impacted, I believe that you are.
Right, true.
So last time we were wearing the bright orange life jackets that we got for less than $7 each, that we said may have been a solution before the fact at the camp in Texas where all those poor young girls drowned, that maybe if they had kept these under their beds, that maybe this would have saved them. But we do know it's pretty violent. They could have had head injuries or whatnot, so they may not have saved them. But it was worth a little effort, right? Wasn't it?
Right, to get a life jacket and to have easy access to a life jacket. And I know that sounds strange, that water would never come in my house and it would never flood, and if it did, I could swim out or I can get out. Well, you know, there's a lot of different situations and you can't really be prepared for all of them, but having a life jacket is just so easy, whether it's a life vest, life jacket, a flotation device, let's put it that way. Okay, that would make your survival a lot more probable.
Yeah, it's not guaranteed. Since we made our last video, we heard of 2 drownings. One was very in the big news because it was a famous actor, Malcolm Jamal Warner, who was one of our favorites because we watched The Resident all the time. That was about a fictitious hospital right here in Atlanta, Chastain Park Memorial. So we loved that show, and we loved him in it. And who didn't remember the Cosby?
Of course, he was in the Cosby Show and other shows.
But we really, really loved him. He seemed like a really decent guy, and we were shocked to see that he drowned in Costa Rica because a current pulled him away. Again, if he had a life jacket on, that probably would have saved his life, most likely.
There was a greater probability that he would have survived.
Now, the second one, we talked about Lake Lanier is the largest lake in Georgia that has had books and movies made about it because people say it's haunted. We've had our 4th drowning in just this year alone. A man drowned from his own personal dock, and this time a life jacket probably would not have saved him.
No.
Because unfortunately, they're looking into if he was electrocuted by the power going to the dock, which I was shocked because we've never boated. We don't have a boat. We don't go on boats. I was shocked that there's power to docks. I don't understand the logic there, but I mean, power and water don't go together in my mind. I'm always terrified of drying my hair by the sink, you know? So they think he was electrocuted, so a life jacket would not have saved his life in this case.
Right.
But like I said, with children, if you take children to the beach or new areas around water, life jackets will save their life. In particular, autistic children, which we did do a video on autism in April, which is Autism Acceptance Month. That autistic children they tend to be drawn to water when they start wandering off. So this child had died recently in Georgia, and we they did not say he was on the spectrum, but I don't know. He was about 5. I think he was 5.
Right.
It's just so sad that we keep hearing death after death after death around water. And
it is sad.
it is. So we returned those orange life jackets because life vests, whatever.
Flotation devices.
Because they choked me, and I'm not that big that they should be choking me. They were adult, over 90 pounds, but it did not fit. It was not comfortable. So we upgraded to these nice life jackets that were $21 each. We didn't have a choice of colors. You had to order 4, and they're red, and they just came from Amazon.
Yep.
So we're going to open that box and try these on and see how these fit.
And we'll check it out.
What is the size? Oh, there's 3 clips. There's adult universal. It says user weight. Where's the weight? Over 90 pounds. Oh my gosh, these look small.
Oh, they do, yeah.
Okay, so these said they were up to a 52-inch chest, but it's tight on me. My chest is nowhere near 52 inches, and it's tight on me. It looks like a child's vest.
Yeah, it does look like a child's vest.
And we measured Steve's chest. It was well under 52 inches. And these do not fit. So these are definitely going back. And I guess we'll probably have to spend 30 to 40 to get a vest. But it's important enough because we are going to be traveling and we might be going into areas that have flash floods.
Yeah.
So we do want to have them in the car if something happens, or if infrastructure that's weakened, a bridge goes out and you go into the water. We do want to have vests just for that probability of being saved or locating our body if we are not saved. I know it's a weird thing to think about. People don't think about it, most people don't think about anything. But as you see more and more flooding this summer, it's just and as I've said in our last video, we had so many water issues through the years in our different houses that water is there. Water's there.
Yep.
It helps us live and it also takes our lives.
You can't avoid it. So obviously that didn't fit.
No, and I looked at the description closely after the orange ones, saw that it is up to 52-inch chest. I took the tape measure out that we keep for measuring everything in our house, measured Steve's chest that was under 52. I even measured his stomach, and the chance that his stomach was bigger than his chest, and it wasn't. I'm way under Steve. It barely fits me. So clearly that's why these were actually returned. These were actually used. So we will be returning them. We're thinking about, Costco has some, but it's getting to the end of the season. So
right. So we could be lucky. They could be marked down, or they may not have any left. We're going to check online and see what's available.
I mean, it's not like anybody thinks this is a top priority. Today's world, your priority is eating, having a home.
Right.
I mean,
electricity.
Well, it seems like food and housing are the biggest challenges, and then medical, of course, on top of that. Those are people's priorities. They're not thinking of flooding. That's not something that they're thinking of. So
anyway, you saw how those didn't fit, and they're going to get returned, and we'll find another one. As you get older, the likelihood of you surviving from a flood are diminished, and so it may seem crazy to have a life vest just in case, but you know something, it may help you someday, and you don't know. It's just like insurance. You know, you're paying for insurance your whole life, and you never use it, then where's the value? It's what if. It's the chance that something could happen.
Well, I think I forgot to mention in the part 1 video that our neighbor also died in the Chattahoochee. He was standing in just a couple inches of water, and they released the water, and it says on the website you are responsible for knowing when the water is released, and I believe it's a rapid influx of water that knocked him down and he drowned. So again, if he had a life jacket on, he probably would have lived. And this was a former neighbor from years and years ago, like almost 20 years ago. But I mean, you never forget that. You never forget that all these people who are dying in small amounts of water, or children in pools. I mean, there's always famous actors' child dying in their pool in the backyard, and they say they were gone for 2 minutes. They find them dead, or at apartment complexes. There's always, every year it's one of the highest deaths for children. I'll see if I can find that statistic and post that online. But if you have a pool, I know there's things like alarms or fence gates. I mean, we had a pool growing up, and there was just a deck around it. My father put the ladder up and locked it, and it was locked the majority of the time. And then when we were in it, several of the children were in it, because I grew up in a family of 8 children. I mean, we had some rules with the pool, and it was only 4 feet. It wasn't in ground. We didn't back then. You didn't have alarms, but neighbors respected people's property and didn't come into pools. But I do remember when I was going to college that I had to take business law, and the professor said that a pool is called an attractant nuance, I believe. And so if a neighbor does drown in that pool, you are liable, because even though it's not their property, they trespass, it pulled them into. So I think he was recommending a fence. When we lived in Buffalo, they had one of the highest number of pools in the nation, which we found to be incredibly odd. And our neighbors had like a 4-foot pool, and they didn't have a fence. And I kept thinking, how incredibly odd. They do not have a fence. It wasn't required in that area to have a fence around your yard with a swimming pool.
Right, and one of the houses that we rented in Buffalo, we had a pool.
Yeah.
And it had a big fence around it.
It was an in-ground pool.
It was an in-ground pool, and it had a fence around the backyard, not specifically around the pool. So once you got in the backyard, then you can jump in the pool.
And I would have preferred not to have a pool. It was a very limited rental for a rental house at the time. Our dogs almost drowned in it, because in the winter it was covered in snow and they tried to walk across it. So our dogs were in danger as well. There was no fence around the in-ground pool, and I was not very comfortable having that pool at all. I would have preferred not. There was no alarm. Our children could have gone out there. It was a tense time for me to constantly be monitoring our children. Even though they both swam, no, that doesn't matter. I mentioned in the first video how they almost drowned when they both knew how to swim. Because when you panic, and you don't swim. That's
Right.
probably why most people drown. Like when a current or rip tide pulls you out, I'm sure most people panic. So yeah.
You got to remember, when you get pulled out by a riptide, swim parallel to the shore.
And then the other case of a water event that happened to us on one of our vacations, we had free tickets to a sailboat going, I don't know, where were we?
Charleston.
I don't remember where we were. But the sailboat, it was just the 4 of us and the captain, I believe. And he said he was starting to lose power. He was having problems. He thought we're going to flip over or something. And I don't know. I don't think he was just trying to say that. I don't know. I flipped out, because I know that tourist attractions often don't maintain the tourist item, the the helicopter, the meals, whatever, because it takes away from the profits. So I instantly grabbed the life jackets and put them on our kids and myself. Steve refused to put one on. And you're in I believe we were in the Atlantic Ocean. It was like Hilton Head or Myrtle Beach or one of those cities. Yeah. And he was in distress. I believe he called for help or something. And I remember thinking, I'm not really keen on boat rides and things like that, because the life jackets are always up there. They always tell you, and the life jackets are up there, and you can't reach them. Like in the Ducks, the people drowned in, I believe, I don't know, I said it in the last video. I can't remember now. But how do you get those life jackets when the boat starts sinking? How do you get them out of there? You know, I was thinking, if I ever take a boat ride again, I think I'd take my life vest that we're going to buy, and I think I'd wear it onto that boat.
Yep. Don't forget to tune in for part 3.
Yeah, if we ever find life jackets that fit. I mean, I guess you had to pay $40 or something, $40 or $50,
Right.
to get one that fits.
Right. Yep.
Okay, but look at our other videos. Sammy's not here right now because we did just walk them. It was another incredibly hot day, and
Right, and Sammy's asleep right now.
and Sierra is aging. She's 14 and a half, and she's showing her age. She's struggling. We don't think she'll be with us much more, and it's very sad. Her legs are starting to go as we walk. She sometimes now collapses. So where she was walking three quick miles every day until the last year or so, she's struggling, and it's very sad, very sad.
It is.
So check out some of our other videos, and until we see you again,
Take it easy.